Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody, I got a special man with me here right now, Mr. Ashton Jeanty of the Las Vegas Raiders. And first of all, I got to tell the people what an honor it is for me to be able to sit next to you, because I remember at a certain point in the season last year, I reached out to you just on social media, on Instagram.
Right.
And, bro, I just had to tell you how much I respect you. Obviously, your game, the way that you play, but the young man that you are, the character that you show, you live in your faith. You seem like you got your head screwed on straight. Just talk about your process. What makes Ashton Jeanty Ashton Jeanty? What keeps you locked into the person that you know that you are?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here with you. But I think it's just, being rooted in who I am, my character. I mean, first of all, in my faith, staying rooted in my identity in Christ. And then from there, just being locked in and focused and, discipline and, just remembering your why and, why I do everything for.
And you got, from what I know, you got your discipline from your parents, your father, you're a military kid. Obviously, we've heard the story, but just talk about it. What does that mean coming from a military family? What was the discipline like, and how do you use that in your adult life and your pro football career?
Yeah, I mean, the discipline was everything, I watched my dad get up, 5 a.m., 4:30 in the morning. Every morning, wouldn't come back till, late. So just seeing that hard work and perseverance, every single day to, provide for your family and, make things happen. But not only that, just the character and the person that I become. Then my mom as a teacher, teaching the younger generation, really putting into people. And it's just a beautiful thing. So, I was raised by wonderful people.
Yeah, that's wonderful to hear. Honestly, what you're saying about your father, that gives me a lot of hope, because I'm the same way. I got two sons right now. One is 2, one's 5 months old. I don't get to spend all the time with them that I'd like, but I hope that one day they have the perspective that you do. It's that dad got to go to work, he got to provide, but he's also instilling discipline. That way you'll have something whenever you're of age. Listen, we got to get to some football questions, though.
For sure.
There's a lot of movement going on. We've seen a lot of transactions happening involving the head coaching world. We know you guys have a new head coach. Tell me, what do you know so far about Klint Kubiak, and what are your expectations as he comes in for year one?
Yeah, I mean, he's hot right now. Obviously, what he's been doing with the Seahawks, offense has, been special, in the way he's getting the backs involved, and obviously Jackson Smith and Jigba having a career year. So it's exciting to see what he's done so far, and hopefully they go and get it all, and then he's gonna bring that energy, that momentum from the Seahawks over to us. So I think it's a great hire, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, and to be paired with an offensive mind like that, obviously the draft is coming up right around the corner as well. Listen, it hasn't happened yet, but a lot of us seem to think Fernando Mendoza will be your starting quarterback next season. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you think he fits in to your locker room? I'm not necessarily talking about quarterback play, but we've seen Fernando Mendoza's interviews. We've seen how he carries himself. How do you think that fits in the locker room in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, I think that his character can fit into any locker room. Just by what I've seen, he's a great guy. He's humble. Obviously, he's hardworking. He's worked his way up to where he's at now. Nobody knew his name a couple years ago, and now he's one of the top prospects. So obviously, the hard work, the dedication, the discipline, the focus is definitely there.
And with, like you said, he built his name from the ground up. So if he does end up being your quarterback, does that give guys like yourself, guys like Max Crosby, guys in the locker room, does that give you more confidence that if you want to turn this around, you've got a guy who's already been at rock bottom and made it to the pinnacle?
100%. I mean, it's great to see that in somebody, and those are the type of people that we need in the building. We need more guys who know what it's like to work their way up, and just to take it day by day, and just bring a different mentality into the locker room.
Okay, I understand. Well, listen, we got to talk about you now. And then, hey, listen, this is gonna be a hard hitter, but I got to bring it up because I pounded the table for this. You got robbed for the Heisman. You got robbed for the Heisman Trophy, and I remember you had over 2,500 yards, over 30 touchdowns. You had over 50% of your offense's total yards.
Right.
Listen, we don't have to talk about you because obviously we have a lot of respect for Travis Hunter, what he was able to do the season that he had.
Of course.
But just talk about what it felt like being in that zone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a special thing. You know, when you got a great group of, you know, coaches around you, teammates, that just trust in you, that, you know, let you go be you each and every single week and instill that confidence in you. You know, once you get to game time, there's no worry, there's no doubt. And then when, you know, fourth quarter comes around and it's time to take over, I mean, it's just, you know, week after week, and you live for those kind of moments. And, you know, that's how I was able to have a season like that.
Was there ever a point in the season when, you know, because at the end of the year we started talking about how close you were to Barry Sanders' records, the all-time records, where was your name going to fall? Was there ever a point in the season where you were like, oh, this is real, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at first I definitely wasn't thinking about that ever. That wasn't really on my mind. It was just, I definitely had my mind, you know, on getting 2,000 rushing yards. But, you know, once we kind of got midway through the season and, you know, everybody kind of kept coming to me and letting me know, and obviously seeing all the buzz on the internet, it was definitely a great thing. But, you know, I try to just, you know, take it, you know, week by week and, you know, not focus on, you know, trying to get that number.
And how was that, right? Because you're playing at Boise State. This is not a school that's known for football. It's not known for championships.
Right.
But every week you're getting compared to Barry Sanders, the Monte Balls, the College Football Hall of Famer, some of the best backs that ever played this game. Was it easy to stay locked in because of your discipline and your upbringing, or did it get tough at times? Because, again, you always got people wanting to read your mail, tell you how great you are, read all your press clippings.
Yeah, I think you just got to understand, you know, when you're doing well, everybody's going to talk about you. And even when you're doing bad, everybody's going to talk about you. So you can't get too high on that stuff. And, you know, you got to understand that regardless of what everybody's saying, the work is the work. Like, you still got to come in, put the work in, and, you know, continue to, you know, get those results that you want. It doesn't matter what everybody else is saying. Now, it was hard some moments, you know.
Of course it was.
Opening up Instagram, you know, highlight reels and all that. But at the end of the day, I had to remember what the main thing was, and that was to, you know, keep getting better and win.
Man, that's a good message. For those out there listening, especially them kids that want to make it big, listen to this young man. He knows what he's talking about. All right, I got a curveball for you.
A little curveball? Come on.
Little curveball. Best athlete of all time.
Best athlete of all time? Ooh.
Come on, there's a laundry
I'm gonna go Bo Jackson's, you know, little Raiders action.
See, this
you know?
guy a real running back. He a real running back. If you were running back and somebody asked you who is the greatest athlete of all time,
you gotta say Bo.
You can't say nobody else.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't. And he played. Obviously it was Oakland back then. You're in Vegas now, but even seeing guys like him, Marcus Allen, some of the great backs that wore that Raiders jersey, what does it mean to be the next guy?
It's everything. You know, there's a long lineage of guys who, you know, paved the road for me, and, you know, I got relationships with, you know, a lot of those dudes, you know, like Marcus Allen. You know, he's been talking to me since I was in college. So it's just great to, you know, see what those guys did, but also to have all the confidence instilled in you that you can be the next one.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Okay. All right. I got some more questions. Don't worry. It's going to be a tough one because if I was answering this for you, I don't even know what I would pick.
Dang, you going to do me like that?
What's your favorite highlight of Ashton Jeanty's career?
Favorite highlight? Oh, I mean, well, I feel like that is tough, but.
Hey, hold on. If y'all wonder why he's smiling so bright like this, is because he had a lot of highlights. He had a lot of them.
I'll say for sure, as of right now, my run against Washington State, it was like a 60-yarder. Broke a bunch of tackles. That's my favorite run right now for sure. Favorite play.
Finish in the end zone.
Truly.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. Well, before we let you go, tell us about your partnership with Sharpie. What's the key to a good signature?
Ooh, I mean, there's a lot, but, you know, starting off with these new, you know, Sharpie S-Gel pens, you know, cutting-edge technology. And, you know, I have the honor of, you know, being one of the rookies, you know, of this year. And, you know, I get to pass it down to another wonderful running back, Jeremiah Love, who's obviously he's an amazing player. Can't wait to see where he gets drafted to and what he does in the league. But it's just been a blessing to be a part of Sharpie, and I had to have him a part of my signature moments. Signing my first NFL contract.
Wonderful. Y'all heard it, man. Go get them Sharpies. They paying him a lot of money.
Got
to.
to.
Go get
Come
them
on.
Sharpies.